Welcome to a new episode of Flowers and Friends. We've got a great show planned for you. My name is Ana Galena. I'm a floral designer, and I love spending every Friday with my dear friends Dionne and Kara, sharing with you the magic of flowers, talking about the great benefits that flowers bring into our lives in various different ways. So, good morning, everyone. Hi, Dionne. Hi, Kara.
Hello, good morning, Anna. I'm so thrilled to be here. It is going to be a fun pumpkin-filled day. So you're
Yes.
going to see three different pumpkins, three different ways that you can style your home and prep your home for fall decor. We all have something different that we're going to be doing today. So if you're new here, I am Dionne Woods, owner and artist at the Turquoise Iris. I get to hang out here every Friday at 12 o'clock Central Time with Kara and Anna. Good morning, Kara.
Hello. Hello, ladies. I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm really excited to do our pumpkins today. Like, we've been thinking about this and talking about this for a while now. Welcome, everyone. I'm Kara Jamison. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Friends and Flowers talk show for Bloom TV Network. And like Dionne was saying, we all have a different theme that we're going to be doing for the pumpkins today. And I really can't wait to see what you ladies are doing. So let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
Oh, yay!
Hot dancing.
Let's do this.
I always get caught busted dancing. Last week we had Jessie on. Now it was our second time, you all. So if you missed Jessie on last week, she is straight to the hips, baby.
Yes.
That's her
Mhm.
business name, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And she was on showing us how to do some cocktails with infusing florals into her cocktails. And of course, she showed us mocktails and directed us to her blog, because not only does she do drinks, she also does food, and she just has this presence about her. Her knowledge is endless, and I love watching her get so excited over her cocktails. Have you ever seen anybody get so excited?
I know, and it was it was so exciting too. Her energy is like, I want to do that. I want to do it. Why don't we show a short clip from last week?
Oh yes, let's just.
Is so good. And today I'm going to play a little bit with the color. I'm going to add just a little bit of lavender from my garden and some bee balm. Why not make it pretty? It could be a very
Why not?
fancy zombie.
Yes. That you give them about 4 to 6 inches of space in between planting them, because over time they are going to multiply, and you want to give them room to do that. And so I just plant my bulbs and cover them back up with soil, and I look at the forecast. I see if we have any rain coming. I let rain do its job, and that's that. If we don't have any rain coming, I might water them in, but honestly, I let nature take care of it. Daffodils are very tough.
Kara, you have to tell me, how did that digging go last week? Because you were shoveling mounds.
It's a lot of work. My body was very sore. One of the best investments my husband and I have made for our farm is our hot tub, because our bodies get so sore after doing so much farm work. And my job isn't over. Like, I still have a lot of bulbs to plant. I still have a lot of things to do. I actually plant all winter here in Tennessee. Like, there is not a month where I really have a ton of downtime. Like maybe December, but December is really busy making Christmas wreaths and potting up amaryllises, and there's always something to do, actually. Just because we've had our first freeze doesn't mean the year is over. It's actually kind of just beginning and just getting really busy.
And also, if you plant your daffodils or your bulbs through different weeks, you'll have more bulbs throughout the spring, right? More flowers.
So
As
the
if Uh-huh.
Yeah, so certain bulbs, yes, that does work that way. The
Okay.
daffodils, though, there are early blooming daffodils, mid blooming daffodils, and late blooming daffodils. So those are going to bloom just according to Mother Nature and
Oh,
when, what the temperature is. But tulips, though, you can kind of do that trick with tulips. You can force them, make them bloom a little faster. And yeah, it's fun to do those
Well,
things with bulbs.
I got my irises in the ground.
Did
And I
you?
appreciate those tips. I did. I went out Saturday morning and I kept saying to myself, now I'm not supposed to bury them. I'm not supposed to bury them. They're supposed to. And I told my dog with my finger and pointed, some serious business, stay away. But they're in the ground. Matt came out the next morning and watered them. And I ended up having more than I realized. So I realized I could pull some of those apart and there were more there than I realized. So I ended up with 8 instead of 4.
Oh, wow.
oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So that was good stuff. And I just want to remind everybody that's popping on, we see our friends popping on. We want you to ask questions today. We're going to do pumpkins.
Yeah.
All of us have 3 different ways that we're going to do how we would style a pumpkin. I have one I'm going to show you. And for those of you that know me, you're going to giggle at this for a second. But we would love if you would tag a friend who also loves this topic, who loves flowers as much as you do. Tag your friends and share the video if you can, please.
Yes, and I want to take this opportunity to say some quick highs. Pilar in Spain. Hola Pilar, tía Pati, un besote. Saludos a todos los demás. Dejen comentarios, aquí los leemos. I'm just telling everyone to leave their comments. We're reading, even if they're in Spanish. We like them too.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. Look at Shelly said.
Oh, it says, Kara, I got to spend time last weekend planting my daylilies with my family. New raised bed. Shelly, oh, so fun. I mean, right now is the perfect time to plant new daylilies, to split your daylilies if you have a bunch in the ground. Kind of like irises. Like they just are the plant that keeps on giving.
Oh, I need some of that. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is grab my pumpkin.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you what it looks like on one side.
Okay.
I want to impress you.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
What?
Are
How
you
did do
impressed?
that? No, wait a second.
Beyond impressed.
Because surely I
Beyond.
painted this, right?
No, you painted that, right?
No.
What?
No, girl.
No way.
Nowhere. So here's what I know. Here's the back side.
Okay.
So I have learned this summer when I did a craft phobia, because I have a phobia of crafts. Okay.
What? No, wait a second. How
I
do you
can't
have a
believe
phobia
that.
of
I
crabs?
don't buy that.
What is that?
You better buy it. You better buy into it because it's the truth. I'm telling you, I am scared of crafts. And so this summer I made myself do more crafty things.
Okay.
Well, one of my beautiful friends, Patience Smith, sent me a box of craft supplies.
Uh-huh.
And in that is all this, ladies. Napkins.
Oh.
Oh no. No, I can't believe that.
Are you
The most beautiful floral napkins you've ever seen. So when we decided to do pumpkins, I thought, well, of course I'm going to paint on the pumpkin. I'm going to paint it
Yeah.
white. I'm going to paint this gold.
Right.
But this morning I woke up and went, wait a minute. I'm going to decoupage my pumpkin.
okay?
So I'm going to working on the back side of this and show you all how I did this. But
Okay.
my plan is I am going to paint. What I
Okay.
am going to do is add some texture to these napkins. I'm going to texture, because this is just decoupaged paper. I'm going to show you the products that I'm using, how I'm pressing it on and sealing it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take paint and add to it. So it's got some texture, and you can see that the petals will have a pop of red, a pop of white. I'll add to the stems, and we'll work through all of that on this side, but I'll apply another napkin over here. And the best thing is you don't have to just use one. If I wanted to, I could tear these napkins and do like a collage.
Yeah.
I could do different things and overlap them like that. So the ladies know that I have been terrified of crafts. I think I'm just going to kind of screw it up all the time. So I labeled it my craft phobia this summer, and they helped me through it. They sent me supplies, and they said they believed in me. So
Oh.
You too.
I
The
love
audience
that.
is going crazy, Dionne. Everyone's so excited and amazed. Wow. That is so cool.
So now, is this a pumpkin like you would enjoy inside your house, or are you going to tell us like what products you're using to maybe you can use this outside? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you a little of that here in a minute. I want to see what you ladies are doing, but I am gonna show my products, and I will show you the trick with the napkins that they showed me, which it's just gonna be between us here today. Okay, it's our secret. But I want to see what you ladies are up to. So Anna, what have you got there? I see a beautiful orange pumpkin.
Yes, I'm gonna show you guys how to put flowers into a pumpkin. And I want to take this opportunity. I got inspired by Jen's video on our Halloween contest. And really, I'm always so envious of people growing flowers, like my dear friend Kara and Jen, that they just go outside and they pick their flowers and do flower arrangements. But then there are way too many of us mortals that don't have
mortals.
And we depend on our supermarket. And that's fine, everyone. I want to tell you all that is absolutely perfect. Go to your supermarket, get a bunch of mixed flowers. That way you already get the variety, and don't just put them in a vase. I'm going to show you how to decorate them with more style, give them that extra feeling of contacting with your flowers, but it's okay. Not everyone has those beautiful gardens. And so what I did, if you want to see how to carve your pumpkin and all that, go watch Jen's video because it's incredible. And all the videos in the Halloween contest are absolutely great.
True story.
So I carve my pumpkin. I always spray some oil inside. This helps them last a little longer. Okay, a little longer.
A little.
Like 5 days.
Okay. Not forever.
Not a week or not like that. But 5 days is a decent amount. So if you're just for fun, do it. How I carve it, I measured the size of my cylinder that I'm going to put inside. I cut it. I have some chicken wire in it. And here's something funny. Because my pumpkin is too big, the cylinder moves around. So what I did is with more chicken wire, I made like a wreath. I put it inside. And since it's fluffy, it holds my cylinder in place.
Oh, and she's smart too. Not just pretty, she's smart too. My word.
And I'm going to add water, and I'm going to put some moss, some fresh moss on top, so nothing will spill while I'll move it. And the moss also helps give more to hold the flowers better. You know, it makes it thicker, like if it was foam or something like that. It helps the flowers go through. Something that is really important, since I'm gonna have the moss, it's so important that I know where my cylinder is, because I might insert the stems and they will not go in the water. And if they don't go in the water, they will die. Remember that. Another thing before I start is that, remember, when you get your flowers from the supermarket, the first thing you do is cut your stems 1 inch and put them in fresh water. Even if you're not going to arrange them, I got this yesterday, but always cut the stem and put them in water so they will hydrate. Okay. So I'm going to start unpackaging my flowers, cleaning the stems, and later I'll show you fun ways to put them.
Wonderful.
Awesome. You, Carol, what are you going to show us today?
I really cannot wait to see what you both are going to create. So I, of course, love to get inspiration from my garden. And of course, if I'm going to make a pumpkin arrangement, like I want it to have notes of my garden. So what I'm going to do today is I have this beautiful pumpkin that I did not grow. Usually we actually did grow pumpkins this year, but the chickens have already gotten to them and they've eaten them and they have enjoyed them. So I had to buy this pumpkin right here. And so what I'm going to do is I just have a cute little tray. I'm going to set my pumpkin on there, and to decorate it, let me show you what's behind me right now. I am having a lot of fun with dried flowers. I'm going to kind
Yes.
of
Look at all those.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to get out of my shot. There we go. So I have a lot of dried flowers. I'm going to pan in here
Wonderful, Kara.
that I'm going to use. I've got sedums, penstemon, and then you know what? This is so fun. I have my own dried corn that I'm going to be adding to this. We grew this corn this year in our sunflower field, and we let it dry, and we collect it, and then we feed it to our animals throughout the winter. But before they get to enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it in our fall decor.
I love that. Your animals are spoiled there on your farm, Kara.
They are. They're very spoiled right there. So I've got lots of fun things like behind me right here. I have got, let me bring this closer. These are some dried roses. So I did a wedding earlier this year, and you always over order flowers a little bit to make sure that you have enough, and there's always a couple in the bunch that don't look good, and I had to order in roses because I didn't have enough for the wedding I was doing. And so these were extra, so I dried them, and we're going to use them in our creation today. In
Wonderful.
this cup right here.
So you're not carving your pumpkin, right? You're not making a vase.
Oh, I am not carving it. I am going to be hot gluing a lot of stuff today. Yes. And so in this cute little jar right here, I have got these cute little dried flowers. This is called straw flower. And it is a flower that I plant in about January. I start seeds, and then I plant them in February, and they look just like this on the plant, and then they dry just like this. So I'm going to add little bits to my pumpkin with these today.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome. I love that we're doing different projects. So that sounds awesome, you guys. If you're just tuning in and we want to hear what you do with pumpkins, give us some ideas, share with each other. We want to know what do you like to do. I'll be honest with you, this is a little fun fact for you right now about Dionne Woods. I've never carved a pumpkin, not one time in my life.
Never carved a pumpkin.
It is so messy. It's
That's
really
right,
messy, and you get your hands sore all, I don't know what the word is, but a lot of people don't like it, and I think it's like a challenge to work through it. I love doing that in my workshops because most of my students are like, no, it's too yucky, and I'm like, yeah, face your fears.
Face your fears. Well, that's what I'm doing today. I'm facing my fears. So the product that I'm using is one that I sell. It's a decoupage medium called Liquid Patina. And I'm applying with a larger brush so it goes quicker. But this is a decoupage medium. You've heard of different mediums, Mod Podge. I'm not knocking a product. I'm just saying I would highly recommend you use a product such as this. And the trick is if you want to use a napkin, guys, you know how a lot of these will come in 2-ply or 3-ply. Ladies, you have to separate it. You have to get it to it's one layer, okay?
One layer, okay.
One layer. That's the tricky part because we want it as thin as possible. I also painted my pumpkin white because I knew it was going to kind of come through the thin layer. So you could do any color. You could do blue. You could do a dark background. But I wanted it to be bright because the background of my napkins are white. So I've already done it once on this side, and this is beginning to dry. So we're going to end up painting on these petals here in just a few minutes. But I want to show you how I applied this. And hopefully I got it right. The name of the product, Veronica, is Liquid Patina. And it is by DIY Paint. I am a retailer for it, so I have plenty on hand. So what I'm going to do is just set this on here. It's going to look really messy at first. And the first time I did it this morning, I was working on my pumpkin, and I thought, well, I'm going to cry because I'm not doing a very good job. But
no.
What I'm deciding to do is how I'm going to handle this edge. but you can actually add in different napkins, and I think I'll just kind of piece a few together. So we can, the way that you can piece your napkins together is if you wet it with water, you can cut with water, basically is how you do it. You can wet your napkin, and then you can pull and cut out flowers if you're real gentle, and you can cut them out and then apply them if you wanted to do it that way. And I think I'll end up doing it that. And I'm just going to wrap this around my pumpkin, guys.
Okay.
I'm pressing it.
Wow.
So it does look pretty messy right now, but when it dries, you don't see all of the crinkles and the seams that you're seeing right here. And my hands work great, but I love a brayer. So this is a rubber mallet brayer. It's on a roller, and I'm going to take it and roll it over this and press that napkin right down onto the pumpkin. And I'm working pretty quick because I want my decoupage medium to stay moist while I'm doing this.
Oh, wow.
So easy. Now you have to finish off the top. You can add. So I'm going to end up piecing together some of these other napkins and cutting out the flowers and piecing them on there. I can also just use paint. I could cover these edges here and paint on. I also thought, for those of you that have fresh flowers, it would be beautiful if you hot glued real stems of flowers to the top of this and almost made it like if I had some similar flowers around the top, I could hot glue them around and have maybe a vine even coming down and give it more of a 3D look.
Ooh, that would be neat.
So I grabbed a couple of fake flowers because I didn't have any real ones, but just to kind of let you visualize what something like that would look like, would be some real flowers, hot gluing them here, and just kind of creating your own little mini bouquet on top of this. I also am going to paint my stem here gold. I don't know why gold, but I just feel like it should be.
Gold. I love it.
How can you say that you're not crafty? Please.
Yeah. Okay.
I can say it, and here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get over it. So I'm trying not to be so scared. Matt made me he built a birdhouse, right? And so, God love him, he came on live with me one night, and we decoupaged that birdhouse together.
Oh.
And he told me I know he told me the reason that I don't like it very much, or that I don't think I'm good at it, is because I'm not very patient. And I think with crafts, you have to allow things to dry, and you have to allow for learning, and there's a learning curve with a lot of it, right, ladies? Everybody watching, you know that.
Yeah.
You have to allow to give yourself time to learn. So part of me is on that learning journey. So craft phobia becomes more like craft fun. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start with my colors. I'm going to open up some of the colors that I found in paint. I've got some red and I've got some pink, and I want to really enhance these petals and just have them pop off the pumpkin is what my plan is. So I've got some art brushes and fuchsia, orange, red, yellow, and I'm just going to dip straight into the pot of color, and I want you to be able to see this. I think there's a lot of creative freedom in this.
Yes.
Ladies, if you're sitting at your table and you're really just enjoying this, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to decorate for very low cost your setup, your table. There's not a whole lot of cost here. And yes, I'm going to have to throw this away because I actually used a real pumpkin. But I know that art craft shops have them kind of half off right now. If you could find some that were real, and then you'd only have to do this one time. I had some fake ones, and the kids decided to paint pumpkins the other night, so they used all of my pumpkins.
Did they?
They did.
But then again, Dionne, we don't need things. I know you say that, but we don't need things to last a lifetime.
No, you're
I
right.
mean, it's a yearly project, and also you can change your decoration. If it lasted like forever, then next year you wouldn't be able to try something different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
No, you're right.
I really love using what you have on hand too. Like that's exactly what I'm doing with my pumpkin here. Is I just went out to my gardens and I cut some evergreen foliage because I have some evergreen trees. A lot of people have evergreen bushes, you know, in the front of their house. And so that's what I did. I cut the evergreen foliage and I just laid it on my tray. Because remember, I am working with a tray right here. Whoop.
Yes. Oh, honey, that's beautiful.
And then I have a bunch of decorative grasses that are in my gardens. And so they have gone to seed. So I've just cut some sprigs of it off and you can kind of see it floating right here. And then just to decorate around the pumpkin, I have all of these limelight hydrangeas that are dried, that are on the plant still. And I just love using dried limelight hydrangeas. I actually decorate a lot of my bulb planters in the winter time when I force daffodils, I force hyacinth bulbs. We can talk all about those in a different show. But I will use the limelight hydrangea flowers just to decorate around my bulb planters. And so that's what I'm doing here with this. And so now I'm actually going to get going on the pumpkin part of it.
Awesome, honey. It looks beautiful the way you're laying that out.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to give the top of my pumpkin a little bit of a base. And so I am going to just hot glue some of this Spanish moss on there.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Thank you. You know, and this is just about using what you have at home. Maybe what, you know, do you have a friend's house? You know, fun fact, I make a lot of Christmas wreaths. And I get a lot of my specialty berries and greenery from a friend that I don't have growing yet on my farm. So, you know, if you have a friend or a family member that has lots of goodies in their gardens, say, hey, can I bring my snips over and cut a few things? So I've got my Spanish moss in here. And Anna, this is a lot like your chicken wire. This is going to allow me to be able to just poke things in there. And one of the things, let me get it right here. One of the things that I wanted to use is, this is called Penstemon.
Penstemon.
It is a beautiful purple or white flower in the spring. And it's just one of my favorite plants to grow in my garden because you can use the flowers and then you can also use these pods because if you leave them on the plant, they will go to these pods. And I use them in all sorts of things. I used them in boutonnieres and grotto bouquets this year. I've used them in winter wreaths, fall and Christmas, and now I'm using them in a pumpkin. And
Wow. I love it. And you know what, Kara, even if you don't have a garden with flowers, throughout the year, while you have your flower arrangements, there are, I mean, you can say some eucalyptus, statice, straw flower, and all those things that dry so beautifully. And then later, hydrangeas, I always use them in autumn and also in Christmas because they look so beautifully dried.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking, Anna, I need some of those eucalyptus like hot glued around the top of this. Like that would be so pretty. I love that.
One of the things I like the most about getting already pre-made flower bouquets, it's a little bit like Forrest Gump, you know? It's like lots of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get in it. So I love that surprise of not knowing. All this came in my bouquet. I'm going to tell you the names. And the only thing I purchased separately was this eucalyptus because I needed more. But the seeded eucalyptus already came. So the first thing I do is I separate everything in my bouquet. I start with my foliage to give it some movement, because to me, I get the most joy when decorating with flowers, as following the movement of my foliage and then complementing with the flowers and not the other way around. I like my foliage to lead me into what I'm going to be creating. I have some, actually, I purchased this bouquet because of the marigolds. I love them. I love their bright.
Ooh, yeah.
I really love them. And it has some sunflowers, chrysanthemums, um, solidago, I think it is. And Kara,
Show me. What did you hold up?
is this Scotch broom or what's it called?
It's called Pretty.
I know.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
One of the things I like the most about fall with fresh flowers is all the different textures you get. For me, a fall flower needs to have as many textures as you can. So I also have from other flowers I purchased some millet. I love this.
Oh, yes. That's a fun one to grow.
So what I'm gonna do is I already have my foliage. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this ruscus to give height and set limits for my flowers. And then this time I'm going to arrange my flowers in groups. And I'm gonna have like a group of sunflowers, a group of marigolds, just to make it different and not like the typical mixed flower arrangement.
Okay.
How are you doing, Dionne?
You know what? I'm doing great. I'm adding some color. I painted this gold, and I'm just kind of adding a little bit more of my decoupage medium around the edges just to kind of seal everything. And you said something, ladies, that kind of triggered doing things like this for your home. We get in such a hurry, don't we?
Right.
And
yes.
just pulling little things out of our flower beds, or I got to thinking I have some things still out there I could have brought in, and I didn't think of it because you guys have inspired me, and I realized there was some more I could have done. But with everything going so, I just feel like our days go by, and all of a sudden we're at the end of the year almost, and we're in the fourth quarter. And I think when you slow down enough to do things like this, you're really allowing yourself to feel and work through the season and it not go by so quickly. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Kara, yeah, and Kara, when you're out digging in the dirt and you're planting, it really seems like it slows down the season because you're working in it rather than through the season. You're literally immersing yourself in the time of year and in a much simple, smaller way. I feel like that's what home styling and home decor will do for you. I think that's the mental part of it. I had all these napkins. But they're all very summery and spring-like. But it's also, I was able to kind of personalize it because this is more like me anyway. I didn't have any fall floral napkins, right? But this is kind of more like me, and I'm personalizing it for my own style and my own home as well, but it's giving me time to slow down. So I think that's one of the things that that this is reminding me of when I was just listening to you ladies, and I got to thinking about Halloween and the seasons and the things that are coming up, and I was just curious, ladies, what is your earliest memory of your very first, either this season, whether it be Halloween or Thanksgiving? What was your earliest memory?
When I think of Halloween, I used to think when my mom and dad would take me trick-or-treating in our neighborhood, and you normally get candy, but the things that I remember is going to certain houses, and I normally knew these people. They would have these little goodie bags for me, like little pencils or little erasers, things that I could really use that wasn't just candy. And I thought it was so fun opening up those little goodie bags. But
yes.
It's really fun because I've got 4 kids, ranging from teenager to 6 years old. And it seems like every year there's a new fun memory to be made, something fall wise. And I'm in that season right now where I'm enjoying just, hanging out with my husband and my kids and doing all these fun fall things. My girls and I made this really yummy hot apple cider the other day with these spices. The Biltmore, I visited the Biltmore earlier this year.
Yes, you did.
So that was fun. And then a favorite fall activity I love to do is, of course, I love nature. I love just driving and looking at all of the leaves that are changing. And I'm actually really excited because after the show today, I am leaving to go to the mountains with my husband. And it's like prime leaf viewing time right now. And so I'm just so excited to see all the different colors nature has to offer.
I'm so excited you're doing that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I love the red maples. The red maple is my favorite. When it starts changing, they're starting to change here in Oklahoma. The red maple. And there's this one street we have that I have to go down anytime I go anywhere. And they're on both sides. And it's just that blazing. It's kind of like in that painting, that orange, rustic red. And I always know it's going to be the week before Halloween. They're always going to start doing that. The very first memory I had, ladies, was probably of Halloween. I will say, like, costume wise, I was one of those really shy girls that didn't like to dress up, only because I was afraid it just made me feel very embarrassed to be dressed up and have people looking at me. But so the very first time I really remember doing it, it was a school party when you could still do that at school. And I was a punk rocker.
Yes. Oh, really?
I was a punk rocker, and that meant that I got to wear makeup.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, that's why I wanted to be a punk rocker, because I knew my mom would let me put blush on, and I could put sparkle stuff on, and she'd let me paint my nails. And I remember that being my favorite Halloween, only because I got to wear something that was my mom's and put makeup on my face.
Oh,
I love it so much. So
memory.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna let me tell you. Let me ask you, Anna, if I went and bought. Okay, so I see that you have eucalyptus. What's the tall green spriggy thing sticking out?
Yeah, I love it. It's ruscus.
Ruscus.
Oh yeah.
That's how you say it, Kara?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need some of that around here. And now that I've seen both of your arrangements, I know exactly what I need to do to finish this off. So I am so glad that you guys did this. And could you slow down? My word, look how fast you put all that together. You're like a magician.
That's so nice. But you know what? You got me thinking about my memories of fall or Halloween. And yes, Halloween, I can tell you, well, since I was very little, dressing up and all that has always been a part of my life. And my mom always decorated our home and all that. More fall than Halloween. But what really got me thinking is, when did I fell in love with autumn? Because it's my favorite season. And I think it was because you have to remember, I live in Southern California, so we don't get colorful trees.
Right.
I mean, we have changing weather, but we don't get colorful trees. Then in the winter, we don't get trees with no leaves. None of that happens. So when my older sister got married, she went to live in Boston for a year. And I remember when she sent us pictures of the fall, I was like, oh my God, that is the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I totally fell in love with that. And let me tell you, that was 30 years ago or more. And to this date, I've never experienced a fall in real life.
Oh, you gotta come.
I know. But this is why I also think I felt more in love with flowers
Uh-huh.
because I've gotten to, with flowers, I always bring the seasons into my home and getting flowers all throughout all the seasons. But in the fall, I'm able to get maple leaves and all these
Uh-huh.
different kind of dry things and all these colors, and I get to put flowers all over my house. That and then also I love that they last a really long time, because in the fall, if you have dried flowers, it doesn't matter. Like
Right.
if you know
Yeah.
spring or in summer, you're not gonna have dried flowers around. So all of my flower arrangements will last for 2 months because they're
Yes.
pretty. So my sister's getting married was what? My first real memory of fall.
I love that. It sounds like, Anna, you leave now after the show. Come get me, and then we're gonna crash Kara's weekend.
Yes.
And we'll have her husband drive us around so we can see all the beautiful
Oh
foliage that they're
yeah,
going
that would
to see.
be.
Sounds like a good plan.
I love it.
According to us. All right, Kara. Let's see what you're at. Let's see yours, Kara. How's
Okay.
yours progressing?
Okay, here is how mine is progressing. Let me see if I need to move my camera at all here. Let's see.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in the center.
There we go.
Oh,
Now I can see it. Okay. Hopefully you guys, I need like a backing here. So let me bring my computer a bit closer.
Awesome.
oh,
Here's what it
that's
looks
so
like.
beautiful.
So what this is, this little smoky looking thing, this is called smoke bush right here. And
I love those.
yeah, when it blooms in the spring, it has this beautiful smoky looking flower to it. So I've never dried them before. So I was like, we're going to try to dry these this year and see what it looks like. And boy, it's like the perfect purple pop. And then here's the top of my pumpkin. I dried some dahlias that I grew this year. This was a pretty purple one, and it dried this beautiful, like deep cranberry.
Oh wow.
We've got some orange dahlias. This is dahlias. These are dahlias right here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dahlias. And then I froze on my end for a sec here.
No, you're perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, and then I've got all these little roses that I was telling you guys about. And then this is these little nigella pods. These flower in about May, and then they turn into these beautiful little pods. And I just use them for like everything. And then, yeah, this is where I am with it. Right now, I'm pretty much done. I need to add my special little corn that we grew this year.
Well, you're just magic too. You ladies are killing it with these arrangements. I can't think of anything else that you all could add. When Anna showed me the marigolds, I decided that I would paint little orange marigolds around the top where the edges are, and just kind of mix a few colors so I could pull some of that. I'm not going to go up too high though, because I do want to go out and get some vines off of our back wall and kind of glue that down the way you ladies are doing that. But there's some areas here where I thought, well, gosh, that looked so pretty, and this would be a way. So I'm just going to use yellow and orange, and I'm just going to use my shader brush, and I'm just going to tap the shape of some flowers on here.
So pretty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This has been so much fun. Those of you that are on here, we are curious if you've got plans this weekend to do some decorating or some styling, and if so, drop that in the comments. Cindy says, this makes me happy watching you ladies and hearing your memories. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to be here with us. It means so much to us too. We try to make this a really special place on Fridays for our guests to come and chat and just take an hour out of your day. You can, of course, a lot of you are going to be catching the replay too. But we're really trying to just give you a little taste of what you're going to get on Bloom TV. Because from what I understand, I haven't seen any other network like that. Our experts are just that. They really are experts in their field. And what they're bringing to this show, as well as Bloom TV, is something I haven't seen anywhere else. And I'm really delighted every single week to be a part of it. Michelle says Halloween is such a happy memory for me. And Cindy says, I'm from Washington State and fall is fabulous here. I can just imagine. I never thought of drying out my dahlias, says Jacqueline. Yep. Yes. So I'm just going to keep making my little tiny little flowers here. And you ladies want to show your finale up to the screen so we can see it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, one thing I did put in here, I'll try to get a close up that I bet a lot of you guys have maybe at your house. I know here in Tennessee, there's a lot of crepe myrtle trees everywhere. And this, you can see it right here. These little berry looking things are crepe myrtle berries.
Oh, I have a ton of those.
I took them off before, or actually right after they flowered, and dried them. And that's what this is right here. So this is my finished product of my beautiful fall pumpkin. And look, I didn't even have to get dirty and like scoop the insides out of it.
I have a question, Kara. What did you actually glue?
So
you were just putting everything, weren't you?
I did. So I glued the Spanish moss down. Then, I mean, most everything I was just sticking in the Spanish moss. I glued a couple of dahlias down, a couple of straw flower, but I found I didn't need the glue for most of it because the Spanish moss was really holding it all in there.
That's awesome.
So wonderful. How are you doing, Dionne?
I have a long ways to go before I'm going to like it.
You'll have to do a video once it's done so we can show it next week.
Yeah, I will need to. I mean, I like how it's going and I like the idea of it. If I did anything different, I would probably have torn my napkins ahead of time and then just overlapped them and done more of a collage. That way I don't have this hard line down the center. That's the only thing I probably would have done differently. And then you guys have inspired me. So I've got some hydrangea that are actually blooming outside. They're neutral. They're not pink or blue, but I think I'm going to go get some of those and just kind of, I don't know, I want to play around and put some greenery. So anyway, it's you can see it a little bit closer, but I've got a long ways to go, guys. So
no, but that is wow.
You know,
why don't you tell our viewers that you didn't paint all those tulips? Because no one, if they just joined us, no one's going to believe what it is.
So I have learned how to do some decoupaging with some napkins, and so all of my napkins here that have been sent to me by my friends, Patience Smith is her name. She sent ones that she knew I would like. And so they're all very spring and summery. But I've used a decoupage medium. So if you're just popping on, you did not hear, I am applying these napkins to this pumpkin with a decoupage medium. And if I were you, I would consider using some that are like you know how you have really, you can go to a garage sale and you can find old ceramics. You can give them a totally new look if you just do something like this. So
I'm never going to look at napkins the same again. Like now when I see them in the store, I'm gonna be like, okay, I've got to pick these up because my girls would love to do that. They would love to decoupage a pumpkin with napkins.
Awesome. Well, I think we're about done here. You all, so thank you for popping on here with us today and spending another Friday with us. As usual, we want to remind you that you can still get 1 month free by going to bloomtvnetwork.com, and you can subscribe, use our checkout code FLOWERS to get 1 month free. So you can go to any streaming on your mobile device or on your computer and use that code.
And also we have a Halloween contest going on Bloom TV. We have the videos there so you can vote and decide who's going to get first place, second place, and third place. All the videos are so incredible, filled with such great Halloween ideas. So please go check them out.
Yeah.
Yes. And I am seeing a comment come through on the screen right here. Cindy, hello, Cindy. Thank you for joining us today. The comment says the flower pumpkins is gorgeous. All three are beautiful. First time watching. So very excited for all of these. Yay! Welcome. Thank you. So
Thank you, Cindy.
we are here every Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And if you can't happen to watch us then, all of our shows are available on replay for free to watch on bloomtvnetwork.com. We are we episode 23, ladies? Something? 24? We're getting up there. We're getting up there, ladies. We're getting up there. So we have a lot of episodes full fun. There's a lot of episodes that are DIY things like this that we have guests showing us, how they create certain things. We have, hello. We have some guests on there just telling us their stories about how they got into flowers and what they're doing with flowers. There's a lot of good content to watch on the Flowers and Friends Talk Show.
Yay.
Absolutely. Thank you all. Let's thank our sponsors while we're at it. Let's not forget our beautiful sponsors.
We have built the world's first flower-focused streaming network, bringing the public educational and entertaining shows that highlight the magic of flowers. Learn how to heal through flowers, cook with flowers, design your living space to reflect nature, make crafts using florals, sustainably garden, and so much more. We are your network for all things floral. Join us at Bloom TV as we help bring beauty to the lives of people and the planet through nature's most beautiful creation, the flower.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Be sure to like us, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere. Subscribe to our newsletter and be with us next Friday. Right?
Absolutely. Thank you all. We hope you have a lovely weekend. And if you're catching us on the replay, or if you are already planning your next pumpkin makeover, we would love if you would tag us. Let us know. We want to see your project so we can also share that on our social media stories.
Yay.
Yes. All
Tell
right,
them they need to join us, Kara, every week.
Yes, everything is better with flowers and friends.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.